Have you ever wondered what would happen if one day all the colors in the world just disappeared? Imagine waking up and seeing the bright yellow sun, the lush green grass, the brilliant blue sky is just a shade of gray. Well, for our friends in the land of Hanum, that's exactly what happened. One ordinary morning turned extraordinary when the world lost its sparkle. The vibrant, rainbow-filled land they knew and loved faded into a sea of black and white. It was a world turned upside down. The once bustling town square, usually a kaleidoscope of activity, was now eerily quiet. Confusion turned to sadness as everyone tried to make sense of their new monochrome reality. But even in this bizarre, colorless world, there was a strange sort of beauty, a quiet elegance in the shades of gray. But the citizens of Hanum are nothing if not resourceful. It didn't take long for them to start adapting in the most creative ways. How do you tell a strawberry from a raspberry when both are just gray? You learn to rely on your other senses. You'd see chefs in restaurants not just cooking, but describing flavors with such vivid words that you could almost taste the colors. This, one would exclaim, has a sharp, zesty explosion of 1,000 tiny suns. Fashion designers, who once played with every color of the rainbow, now became masters of silhouette and texture, creating stunning outfits using only light and shadow. Amidst all this creative chaos, a small group of friends couldn't just sit by. Led by the ever-curious Lily, the inventive Sparky, and the wise old Professor Hoot, they decided they had to do something. They weren't just going to adapt to a world without color. They were going to bring it back. Their mission was clear: find out why the colors vanished and figure out how to restore them. And so, their great gray adventure began, a quest to repaint their world. Their journey started with a strange discovery. While exploring the now shadowy Whispering Woods, Lily noticed a peculiar pattern carved into the bark of an ancient, colorless tree. It wasn't just a random design. It was a symbol that seemed to repeat in different places, etched in stones by the silent river, woven into a forgotten tapestry in the town's library. It was a clue. Professor Hoot recognized it from an old legend, a story about a hidden guardian who protected the world's colors. Could this be the key? Their quest led them to places that looked completely alien without their usual hues. The crystal caves, once glittering with a million different colors, were now just a maze of transparent, grayish structures. The singing fields, famous for their multicolored flowers that chimed in the wind, were now silent and still. Along the way, they met a quirky, forgetful little creature named Flicker, who seemed to be the only one who remembered the colors. Flicker couldn't say much, but he would hum old tunes and point them in directions that, strangely, always seemed to lead them to another one of those cryptic symbols. Following Flicker's humming and the trail of mysterious patterns, the team found themselves at the entrance to the forgotten Chroma Spire, a tower that was said to be the very source of all color. Inside, they found not a villain, but an ancient, magical loom. The loom's guardian, a gentle spirit named Iris, explained what had happened. Over time, the world had started to take color for granted, and the loom, which weaves the spectrum of light into the world, had simply grown tired and fallen dormant. The patterns they had been following weren't a curse. They were the instructions for how to reawaken the loom. The final challenge was a magnificent puzzle. They had to work together to rethread the loom using nothing but their memories of color and their understanding of how they mix and harmonize. Sparky's ingenuity was crucial for fixing the loom's delicate mechanisms. Lily's keen eye helped her recall the exact shade of a sunset, and Professor Hoot's wisdom guided them through the ancient instructions. It was a test of teamwork, creativity, and their deep appreciation for the beauty they had lost. They had to prove they truly cherished the gift of color. With one final, collaborative effort, they placed the last ethereal thread into the loom. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a soft glow emanated from the center of the loom, a tiny spark of pure, brilliant red. It grew and grew, followed by a wave of orange, a cascade of yellow, a rush of green, and a flood of blue and violet. A spectacular wave of color burst from the top of the spire, washing over the land. Imagine the sheer joy and wonder as the world was repainted before their very eyes. The green rushed back into the leaves, the blue poured into the sky, and flowers erupted in a symphony of vibrant hues. People ran out into the streets, laughing and crying with happiness, touching the newly colored world as if for the first time. They weren't just seeing colors, they were feeling them. Our friends returned not just as heroes, but with a newfound appreciation for the incredible beauty that surrounds us every day. Their journey taught them and all of us that even when things seem dark and colorless, there is always hope. It's about community, resilience, and finding the light and color within ourselves to share with the world. And it reminds us to never, ever take the simple, beautiful gift of a colorful world for granted. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through the land of Hanum. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures. We'll see you next time.